You can find that and just follow along if you want to. If you want to make a copy of this document, you can do that with this link that I'm sharing out. So if you're the type of person that wants to have your own copy so you can make little notes over here to the side as you're going along, feel free to click on that second link. Okay, so now, power of pause. Today's lesson is going to be over the best ways to utilize video for virtual learning. But even though it says for virtual learning, I'm still going to give you some tips for in-person learning as well. We're going to be talking about Screencastify, a little bit about YouTube just because it's important to go into EdPuzzle. So these two together is going to help you a whole lot with EdPuzzle. If it's giving you access denied, it's probably, nope, never mind. There we go. Sorry about that. I clicked the copy link, but it didn't automatically change it. Okay. So now you should be able to, guys. Carrie, whenever I change it on one, it'll change on both. Were you all able to open it now? Okay, good. Sorry about that. Google changed it to where, like, when you use the click share, it would automatically change it to everybody in FCS. But, yeah, you know, Google has to change all the time. Keep us on our toes. So, yeah, today's lesson is going to be something that we can use for the rest of the school year and school years to follow. So for those of you who don't know me, I know we have some new folks in the district. And if you are new, welcome to Franklin County Schools. We are so happy to have you here. My name is Stella, and I'm a digital learning coach with Franklin County Schools, obviously, because you all have gotten so many emails from me, and I'm sorry. But I love the power of pause. I love using video because I just believe that it helps not only teachers to be able to get everywhere in the classroom more, but it also helps those students who need to hear the content more than one time. So today's objectives, I've got a few because I just kept thinking of them because I really love this topic. So students can listen to these videos from anywhere. I'm going to show you how to have students download these sessions or recordings today so they will be able to watch these offline. And if they have a flash drive, they can save multiple videos on one flash drive without worrying about running out of Chromebook space. So that's going to be helpful for those students who have limited internet access at home. We're going to talk about the power of recordings, which I've already kind of done. And we're going to talk about how it helps students who cannot write quickly for their notes. So when students are able to watch those videos and they write really slow, you don't have to stop and wait for them to catch up before you continue on. So they can just rewind and rewatch. Parents can watch this with their child, even if it's after school hours and the teacher is not technically there anymore. They're not working. It's not our work hours. But it gives the parents a chance to learn the content with the student, so they'll be able to help them better. It's accessible for all learners, and you're going to be able to see who has watched your videos. So with EdPuzzle, it prevents skipping ahead. You can embed questions and discussion questions into it, and it's going to stop them. Like you will be able to see who watched the video, how long they watched the video, and how many times they watched the video. So I love that. And I already talked about that. Okay, so this is just kind of going along with that accessibility. Whenever you have videos, sometimes, or whenever you're giving a traditional lecture, sometimes it's like this. You have students who have focus issues, or they've got a lot on their mind, or there's just a wide variety of problems. So sometimes it's kind of like this picture. But whenever we start getting videos, it kind of breaks down that barrier and lets everybody to have a chance to learn in a way that's going to be accessible to them. I'll come back to that in a minute. Okay, so do I have any questions about what is going to be covered today? Or are we good? Ready to roll? Ready to learn? If you have questions, you can always hop on the mic or use that chat box. So I have really good news to start off with. Last year, Screencastify gave us, the district, a free premium use of their program, Screencastify, and we had completely unlimited access to that. So that expired in May, and I went to the board and they did approve to purchase Screencastify Unlimited for all teachers and students for the 2020-2021 school year. So you will hopefully already have access to that premium Screencastify, but if you do not, then the invoice is just in progress. So we'll be able to get onto it. Hopefully it's unlimited, but if it's not unlimited today, it will be unlimited really soon. So I hope that makes you as excited as it makes me, because Screencastify is so easy to use. And if you've never used it, that's what we're going to be covering for the first few minutes of the session. So if you do not have Screencastify, and Screencastify's icon, like it's an extension, a Google Chrome extension, if you don't see that, you want to go ahead and get it. And I'm going to show you how to get that in just a second. But if you're scratching your head and are like, well, I don't even know what Screencastify is or what it does, and I have people telling me that they love it, what makes it so awesome? Screencastify is a video recording or a screen recording platform. It will record what's on your screen, kind of like what you're seeing from me right now. You're able to see my screen and hear my voice. It will be similar to that, except instead of being live, you're going to be able to record those for future purposes. Not only does it record your screen, but it can also use your webcam. So if you have a Chromebook that you're using this with, or a laptop or whatever with a web camera, it's going to work. And if you have a desktop at school, certain document cameras will also work as web cameras. Like if you have one of the little bitty tiny document cameras that have a foldable arm, those are called Ziggies. The Ziggies have both a camera and a microphone on them, so you'll be able to make Screencastify on your desktop. Okay, so now that we've talked about what Screencastify is, I want to show you how to get it. So to get Screencastify, you're going to go to screencastify.com, and I will post this into the chat window. If you want to go ahead and download this onto your Google Chrome, you can click that link and just listen while it's installing. And I have a question in the chat box. Can I use my phone as a document camera? Amy, you can. There's a few ways that you that I've seen people do it, but Screencastify is only on a laptop, Chromebook, or desktop. It's only on this actual Chrome browser. You couldn't get the extension that way, but you could make a video using your camera on your phone if you wanted to. So when you go to Screencastify, it takes you to their website, maybe, load. And here you have all kinds of different resources, but we're going to skip over all of that for now because none of it's really important at this time. And we're going to click Add to Chrome. So it takes you to the Chrome Web Store, and let me click Remove from Chrome so I can show you how to get it. Okay. So it will say Add to Chrome, and you'll click that, and you'll click Add Extension. After you see the icon show up, it means that it's been installed. And Google Chrome, for those of you who have used extensions before, they've done something weird and they've added this little puzzle piece recently, and it hides all of your extensions. So you have to pin it in order to see it like all the time without clicking on the puzzle piece and clicking on it there. So you can click that little pin button. So the first time that you click on Screencastify, it's going to ask you to log in with Google. And you'll just click sign in. It's completely safe. The district is purchasing it. So it just needs to be able to talk to your Google account because it's going to save your videos to either Google Drive or to YouTube. You get to pick which one. And it just needs to talk to that in order to save it. So just follow all of these prompts. And then after you get finished, you get some confetti, which always makes me happy to see. And then the second time that you click on the extension, it's going to look different and you're going to be able to start using it. Hopefully yours does not say 5-minute limit per video. Hopefully yours says unlimited access like my work account. Ooh, hang on. Did not mean to minimize my screen. But notice how on my Franklin County account, it's going to say Screencastify Unlimited when it loads. Do you all see unlimited? Oh. Okay, I can't open it on 2 browsers, I don't think. But do you all see unlimited on yours? Okay, good. Awesome. Okay. So if yours says unlimited, that means that I've done everything correctly to get your accounts working. So thank you for checking on that for me, Wendy. Okay. So where mine says 5 minutes, you all on our school accounts, we have unlimited access. We can make videos be 60 minutes long if we want to. That would be a long video, but you can make your videos be however long you want, and you can record however many you want. So on this window, we have 3 options. And from now on, you don't have to sign in with Google anymore. It's just going to work flawlessly every time. So you have 3 options. You have your browser tab. That's going to record just what's on this tab from here down to here. So it will not get your bookmarks. It will not get your search bar or other tabs you have open or even anything down here. It also will not get your desktop if you ever minimize your screen and needed to use like a document camera or something. It would not do that. So keep that in mind. I usually almost always pick desktop because whenever I'm doing a Screencastify video, I'm typically going in between windows. I'm using stuff off of my desktop or whatever. This records anything that shows up on your screen. So if you have 100 tabs open up here, they're going to be able to see all of those little bitty tabs. They won't be able to click on them or anything because it's just a recording. And then finally, over here on the end, you have web camera. So if you have that document camera or you're writing on the whiteboard and have your Chromebook facing you and you want to use the webcam, that is what you pick for that option. If you have your prompt open here and you see your little microphone and the green bar is jumping up and down, sorry if I'm screaming because it's showing that I'm red sometimes. But if you don't see that bar, just click here and you can pick which microphone it is that you want it to use. If you are on browser, tab, or desktop and you click Embed Web Camera, it's going to have a little picture of you down here in the corner. So whoever's watching your video will be able to see you working as well as a little video of you down here at the bottom. It's kind of like Khan Academy sometimes has those. Wendy, it will not work on an iPad. This is only on the actual Chrome browser. If you're on an iPad, you can make your own videos using things just like the camera or it's built-in screen recorder, but Screencastify will not work on there. It's only on Chromebooks or computers. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make a sample video here. So I just clicked that blue record button. Now I have two windows open, meaning I have two screens that I'm working off of. So I'm going to pick one of those, and it will always ask you, even if you only have one screen. So you have to actually click the screen and then click share, and it's going to automatically start. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going in between screens here, talking about a lesson. Yeah, so I'm done. I can click the icon and I can either delete it if I stuttered or just I need to start over because I just got flustered, or I can restart. So like the only time I really use the delete one is when I forgot to turn my microphone on and I'm 3 minutes into my video and I'm like, dang it, I totally forgot to turn that microphone on. So yeah. So delete, restart, pause, which is always good if somebody comes into your classroom when you're making a video or to whatever, your home office, and you need to pause it for a minute and then resume. Or the stop button will automatically save that video. Okay. So here it takes you to a window where you could go back and rewatch that video. So I'm going to pause. Well, actually, I'll mute it. So you can still see it playing in the background. You can listen to it all. If you need to crop the end of it because you don't want to get where you had the stop button in there, you can totally crop it. There's some keyboard shortcuts that I'm going to show you too, to where you don't have to use that prompt to start and stop. And then you just press save trim and it will save it. Okay. Also, I am very, very, very bad when it comes to naming my files, whether it be videos or things inside of my drive or whatever. So make sure that you get in the habit of naming your videos. The reason why is because hopefully next year you're going to be teaching the same content, and maybe you can go back and reuse some of these videos so you won't have to recreate the wheel every time, and you'll be able to search just for that video. So it'd be nice if you could like get in the habit of maybe putting the standard or whatever here, something that's going to help you be able to remember what you called that video. There's also an editor, and since we have premium access, you do have access to that, but it's kind of glitchy and hard to use. So it just lets you go in there, it lets you split the clips so you could delete like a section out from right here if you wanted to. And I'll show you that in just a minute on my actual work account. I don't have it on my personal account. But over here to the side, you have all of these different options. So it's going to automatically save to your Google Drive. You can copy a shareable link and share this through Remind or wherever it is that you get links to your students. But down here, you're going to see under Share that you automatically have a way to share to Classroom. So if I click Share to Classroom, it's going to automatically open up my Google Classroom. I can pick which class that I want it to go to. Oh. I'm not a teacher in any of these. I'm just a student. So if I click on one of those, I don't think I'm a teacher in any of these. So if I click on one of those, I'll be able to make a Google Classroom assignment just like I would be able to in any other circumstance. Let me open up one because that's a pretty big feature. While I'm getting signed into my work account, do you all have any questions so far? I have to close this one. Well, let's see. There we go. So I'm going to show you how to post one directly to Google Classroom. But if you ever find yourself in a circumstance where you're like, I want to find my videos, like all of them, you can click on this extension again and click these two squares with the play button. And that's going to show you all of your recordings. So I have a lot. We'll use this one. Let's say that I wanted to post this to my Google Classroom, share to Classroom, and now that I'm a teacher in these classes, I can share this with my students. Too many classrooms. Okay, we'll just pick this one. So you can create this as an assignment, ask a question, make an announcement, or create material. I'm just going to click create material there. And then once you're inside, underneath 4, if you're a teacher that teaches middle school or high school or intermediate grades that move around, you can click this drop-down menu and you can select multiple classes if you want to. And it will say 2 classes. You can go and change the title, give it a description, give it a topic if you want to, and then as soon as you press post, it's going to automatically send that to that Google Classroom for you. You won't have to leave this window. It will all be done for you. And if you ever want to preview it, you can click view. Okay. So I have a couple of comments over in the chat window. Becca over at Franklin County says that she uses her Ziggy to do all of her recordings. How do they work together? So Becca, if you want, you know how you have the iPivo little app on your desktop and you're opening it up and you're working your problems out or whatever, you can just click on the extension and click desktop and record what's going on your desktop. Or if you want to use web camera, you just click webcam, and then for camera, make sure that you pick, it'll say Ziggy, and select that one, and it's going to automatically like pop up on your window, just like what I've done here. What I've got going on is exactly what happened. So it would pick my Ziggy camera. Hi, everybody. Yep. I'd press pause. I'm frozen. I've confused my computer. But you press pause there, and then you could pause it, or you could press stop, and it will automatically save that recording. Janine says, just a comment, when it saves the video to your Google Drive, it creates a separate folder for these. Yep, it absolutely does. Ooh, no, stop. We'll delete that one. So, yes, it saves these to a Google Drive folder, and I'm going to show you mine in just a few minutes. And you can automatically change the share settings of that folder to anyone with the link can view, so you never have to worry about going in and giving it permissions or giving everybody permissions to see your videos. Okay. So I want to go back to one of my videos here. So we talked about how to share to Google Classroom, but because you all are Franklin County school teachers and we use Gmail as our email and we have Google accounts, then you also have a YouTube account. You can publish this video directly to YouTube by not even leaving your screen. The first time it's going to ask you to set up your YouTube account, and if you're if you're interested in learning more how to do that, I do have a recorded session that we did last week over setting that up. So mine's got the spinning wheel of death. My computer's just confused to death. But you would click, it's going to pull up my YouTube channel in a second, and you would click whether you want it to be private, public, or unlisted. Private means only you can. Public means anybody can see it. Unlisted is people who have the link can view it. So if you post this in Google Classroom and you saved it to YouTube, then that means that anybody with the link can view it. So why would you want to save your video to YouTube instead of Google Drive? YouTube is made for video, and its quality of the video is much better. If you save it to Google Drive, then sometimes the video quality isn't as good as what you would see for other videos on other websites. And I don't know if you all paid attention to the district Facebook page when Mr. Kopp shared a video out last week about schools reopening. I saved it to Google Drive and we crashed Google Drive. So sometimes those video links just aren't very friendly in there. But you also have the ability to add a description down here. You can add links or whatever you want. And then it's not logged in, but you would just click upload and it would automatically upload to your YouTube channel. It's also handy because it gives your students a place to go and see all of the videos in one location instead of like jumping around inside of Google Classroom trying to find videos from certain times. Okay. Underneath there, you do have more options. You can send that video an email or get an embed code or even generate a QR code automatically. So you could save that and put that directly onto your classroom newsletter if you choose to do that. You can add more options as well. So like in a few minutes, we're going to be talking about EdPuzzle. So you could automatically turn that on to where you could push your videos that you create automatically to EdPuzzle or Wakelet or Remind. But since we're talking about EdPuzzle later in this video, I'm going to go ahead and turn that one on. And just again, how we did that, underneath share, we went to more options, and then we did add more share options. So you can turn that slider on. Okay. Finally, down here at the bottom, you also have download. So if you have somebody that you like want to download this for, and that video is making me dizzy.
The camera rotates.
There we go. Then you can download it. Students won't be able to see this screen, so this is not where they're going to download videos at to save to their flash drives or whatever. But you can export audio only. So let's say that you wanted to use a voice clip on a Google Slides presentation. Like if I wanted to go here and add some directions, I could do that. So it would download that audio only, and I would save that to my Google Drive. It's moving. I think I've overworked my computer because it's been going so slow. So after you download it, it's going to pop up down here at the bottom of your screen, maybe. And you can go to your Google Drive and just add that directly in there. I like to just drag and drop. Well, it automatically did it. But you could go over here and then under Insert, go down to Audio. And since it automatically saved that sound clip to my Google Drive, I can select it. And now that little speech bubble thing's going to pop up. And they won't see the video, but they'll hear the sound.
These
are... So that would be good like for accessibility or for ESL who have a hard time reading but can understand spoken language. Pretty good. Okay, so the last one on that option is export animated GIF. So GIFs are just those little moving pictures that you see a lot on social media. Sometimes they're funny, but they can be so useful in classes as well, especially like if you teach math or you have just a small concept that can be shown in a picture that makes sense. I'm trying to find one that's really small. Let's do this one. If I click download and export as an animated GIF, it's going to save that and I can drag and drop it wherever I want it to go. That means the sound of the video will be gone and it's just going to loop that little GIF over and over again wherever I put it. I can put it inside of Google Classroom. I can put it on a Google slide deck. Anywhere that's going to let me put in pictures will also let me put in a GIF. Do you all have any questions? I feel like I just gave so much information. So let me know if I need to go over anything again on this little window here.
Hey, Stella?
Yes.
So do you have to go in and like re-record that little GIF part? Like if you have like your whole video and you want to just show like one little part, you know, like you moving the square, you have, how do you get to just that one little part? Or do you have to record it separately?
That is a great question. Thank you so much for asking. So you can move these little scissors to whichever part it is that you want. So like, let's say that I wanted the first 3 seconds from like 1 to 3 seconds. And whenever I let up, if I press save trim, it's going to ask me if I want to make that a copy or replace the original. And actually, no, it didn't. It just saves the new copy. Or it did that time. The other time it asked me if I wanted to replace that or make a new file. But let me just double check. Let me try a different video because a while ago it asked me if I wanted to replace it or save a new one. I think it's actually going to like replace your original. So if you want to like not do that because you want to keep your full video as well, a workaround for that would be load. When my screen loads. When you click on the video, more options. If you click view on drive, like more options there, you can go to these 3 dots. Well, no, you can't. Can't make a copy. So it might replace your full video if you do that. A way that you could would be like to download that video onto your computer and then upload it to Drive and then clip it that way. But that would be a lot of steps. What do you all think would be the easiest way to do that? I know I have some people in here that's used Screencastify before. Can you all think of a way that would be easier than what my brain was doing? I'm sorry that didn't really answer your question in the best way possible.
That's okay.
I'm gonna play around with it though because I could have sworn that while ago it asked me if I wanted to save my new clip. I'm pretty sure that it did, but I could have totally been wrong. I'll play around with it and I will figure out how to do what you want and I'll make a video and add it to this so everybody else that has the same question can get the answer as well. So Anita says, can you go over the GIF part again? Absolutely. Anita, whenever you get finished recording a video, so any video that you want, even if it's one from a long time ago, you can click on it. And I'm going to try to find a smaller one. I don't want, here, this one. Underneath download, you have export animated GIF. So you just click export again. And it's going to download down here in your corner. And as soon as it gets finished exporting, you're just going to download it to your computer. It will prompt you to do it. It takes it a couple of seconds to do. Usually it doesn't take this long, but my computer is having significant issues today. So it will pop up and say download right there. and you'll download it and it will save it to your computer. Or if you're on a Chromebook, it will save it to your Google Drive. So Karen says, I recorded videos using my document camera and uploaded them into YouTube and listed them as unpublished and put the link in Google Classroom. Some students could open the link and some couldn't. That is a very common question, Karen, and I have an answer for it. So whenever you are on YouTube and you want to go to your channel, so I'm going to go to library. Actually, I want to go to my channel. Where's my picture? Okay, click your picture, go to your channel, and then up here at the top where it says on mine, remove channel approval for Franklin County students, make sure that you go in and you make your channel be approved for all. I'm sure that some students were logged into their personal Gmail or personal YouTube accounts and not their school. So they were able to use those videos or watch those videos on their personal accounts, but not their student accounts. After you do that for your whole channel, you won't have to do it again because every individual YouTube channel you have to, or sorry, YouTube video, you have to approve for FCS students. But if you approve a channel, anything that gets posted on there will be approved for kids. Tom, yes. What we just downloaded here becomes a GIF. So I'm going to click download GIF. It's going to automatically save. And if I click on it, I can see it in my little preview window, the GIF. There it's going. And if I want to just upload that onto a Google slide presentation, I can go to insert and go to image from Drive if I'm on a Chromebook. But since I'm on a laptop, and if you're on your desktop as well, it automatically saves those in this little bar. And you can even just drag and drop. And notice my little GIF is moving. And I love these just for like directions. So this would be great to make a GIF for showing your students how to get into Google Classroom for the first time. So they could just watch it over and over and over. It's also really cute, like if you have Google Slides and you have like a little comic or something that you want to make the kids laugh with, you can record that if you're a little bit nerdy like me. You all had some really good questions. Do you all have any more? Or are we doing pretty good? Okay. If you're still typing your question, you just continue to do so and press enter when you get it typed out. On my other screen, I'm going to go to my Google Drive. I want to make sure that I don't have any confidential information showing. And I don't. Okay, good. So over here inside of your Google Drive, you can do a search for your Screencastify folder. So I think it calls it just Screencastify. No. Who was it that said? Janine, do you know what it calls the folder? Oh, maybe it is Screencastify and I just have two because I called something Screencastify. Nope, that's not it either. What is it called?
Mine came up as Screencastify.
Maybe I just got so much in my drive. Let's see. So it names the folder Screencastify, and that's where you're going to find all of your Screencastify recordings. My Google Drive is just a hot mess. So while I'm looking for mine, if you want to look for yours, you totally can. So just to save time, because I don't want to keep you all looking at your screen while I'm trying to find my folder because my computer is just a mess. Let's pretend that this is the correct folder. And inside of here, you're going to find all of your video recordings. You can automatically right click on that folder, click share. And if you choose to save all of your videos to Google Drive, that's perfectly fine. But down here underneath Get Link, it's automatically going to be this restricted. Only certain people with the link can view. But if you change that to anyone with the link can view, you don't ever have to worry about people not being able to see your videos inside of Google Drive. Because since they have to have the link anyway, they're not going to be able to guess that whole URL and be able to see your video. So I always leave that on. That way I never get that restricted, you must request access for that video, because I get so flustered when I'm teaching a lesson and then all of a sudden I have 60 kids looking at me like, Miss Pollard, I can't get into the document, and it hurts my brain. I'm like, okay, give me a minute. Because you all are great. At the beginning when I didn't have that set, you all were like, hey, I just can't see it. But yeah, middle schoolers are not as friendly about stuff like that. They make fun of you. So if you automatically have that folder set to anyone with the link can view, you can click done. And then whenever you share the videos, whatever video you make, it's automatically going to be open. You'll be able to share. So Amy asked, if you are someone who has a Ziggy, what model is it? I need to get one and some are really expensive. So Amy, the Ziggies that the district has are the $99 document cameras. However, hold out. I can't give you more information for that, but let me do some we're testing some for certain things. So the district might be getting some more, maybe, if they're in stock. Every website that I've looked at, they've been out of stock. So also check with the STCs at your school if you're interested. I know some STCs have extras of those, and you might be able to get one from them, but we are trying to find some. It's a popular time for all of the technology right now, and a lot of stuff is sold out. It's like, how dare they? They should have saved some for us. That's all we want. Okay. Yeah, so you all had some really good questions. Do you all have anything else that you would like to know about Screencastify right now? I think we've covered almost everything. I just have a couple more short things to show you, and then we'll take our break. Okay. If you're still typing, please continue to type and send that question in because I want to see it. Whenever you are in Screencastify's recording window, you can click these 3 lines and you can see all of these different options here. But really, it's just another place to see your recording. Your subscription's paid for by Franklin County, but if you, in the future, if we never renew it, you can always go in and get your own subscription if you want to. But right here on the extension at the main top, you have some options. So this little bell right here is where you're going to get notifications from Screencastify. There are some really good resources that is gone. So I'll just show you how to get there on their website because they take it away. But if you click settings, you can limit your resolution. So if you want, and resolution is how clear the video is. I've got mine turned off. But if you teach at a school like Peaks Mill or a school that has tons of kids that live way out in the middle of nowhere and their internet is just horrible at streaming video, you can automatically lower that resolution and just see like if that helps those kids to be able to watch. Now, it does make the videos be blurry. Like if you go too low, 720 is the lowest that I recommend. But play around and see if you see any of those that could be helpful for your kids. And then all of these max frame rate, like I don't think you really have to worry about that. Mostly, I'm just going to be honest, I don't understand that language. Does anybody understand what that means? Like, what does that mean, max frame rate? I just always keep it on default. If somebody else knows, please hop on the mic. If not, I've never had any issues, so I just leave it alone. But you can also auto stop. So if you have videos that you never want to go over a 5-minute video, you can make it to where it automatically will stop at 5 minutes. I just leave that turned off because sometimes my videos go long. I don't mean for them to, but they just do. Okay. So I have 2 things to show you, and then we will take our break. I'm going to ask that Screencastify send us this because they have some magnets of these keyboard shortcuts, and I think they're amazing to have just somewhere close by. You can automatically start and stop your recording by using the keyboard shortcut Alt-Shift-R. When you do that, it's going to automatically start your recording. See, listen, it's going. Alt-Shift-P will pause it. So notice my little icon here is paused. And Alt-Shift-P again will unpause. And Alt-Shift-R again will stop that recording. I think that's just the handiest thing because I hated always having those, like going up here and having to click and it loading forever. So I love those keyboard shortcuts. I put stars beside of my favorites. All right, William's got the answer for us. FPS, frames per second, higher FPS means smoother videos. So, William, if, like, for instance, I had satellite internet or I lived way out in the middle of nowhere, that would probably slower, like make the loading time be slower for me, or would it not?
Yes, if you have someone way out in the country, they may not be able to play the video if they don't have a fast enough baud rate, like
Okay.
the download video. And if you make it fewer frames per second, sometimes they can still watch the video even though it's a little choppier than it normally would be.
Thank you so much, you and Tom. Tom answered as well. So the last thing to show you is if you do go to screencastify.com, and this one's pretty awesome. So they have some, maybe, where will it be? They have some guidebooks for ideas on how to use Screencastify with your students. Oh, for school resources. And they have 50 ways to use Screencastify in the classroom. It's an ebook, and you can just scroll through that and see different ways that teachers use it with their kids. So there's a lot of things in there. Wendy, I've got the shortcuts in this Google slide presentation. I know that they have magnets. I've seen these on Twitter. So I'm going to email them and be like, hey, can we get some magnets and stickers and shirts for our district since we gave you all lots of money? And they better say yes, or I'll ask them over and over until they do. Okay, so we shared a lot of information. The first half of today's session was really over Screencastify. When we come back in about 5 minutes, we're going to go over YouTube, just a short little snippet about playlists and getting videos from YouTube, and then putting all of that into EdPuzzle. I'm going to stick around, but if you want to take a break and go stretch, get something to drink, whatever you need to do, feel free to do it. I'm going to put a timer up on the screen for 5 minutes. All right. So we are halfway through this session. Hopefully, I know I have some people in the session who have used Screencastify probably just as long as I have. So hopefully you were able to get a few resources from that you weren't familiar with before. But welcome back. We closed out some of my tabs so my computer don't crash on me here. Okay. Boom. So the second half of this session is going to be over that YouTube section and the EdPuzzle section. I can't wait to show you EdPuzzle. Janine said that she used EdPuzzle last year because we know that if we give students a link to a YouTube video, that they're not going to watch it all unless we hold them accountable. And EdPuzzle is going to help us get that accountability piece. So I'm excited. Okay, so before we get into the YouTube part, we did have a question before the break from Kathy, and Kathy wanted to know how to delete a playlist off of your YouTube account. So Kathy, you can go to your channel, and when you get to channel, click playlist. Find the playlist that you no longer want, and then pause. Oh, sorry, I clicked the wrong thing. Don't click on the video, click view full playlist. And then down here, these three dots is where you can find delete playlist. You're very welcome. All right, so we did a session last week over YouTube. If you are not familiar with YouTube, but you would like to know how to make your own YouTube channel, and you would like to get that hour of PD credit, then you can fill out this Google form and watch the video. Make sure that you fill out all the questions, and you can get yourself an hour of PD and learn more about YouTube if you are interested in that. If not, no biggie. I completely get it. I don't know about you all, but my brain feels completely scrambled with everything that is going on. So I totally understand. So let's say that you have a YouTube video, or sorry, a topic in mind that you are wanting to use a YouTube video for. So this is kind of basic, but just in case, like, let's say that I'm teaching a standard. I can look up a standard if I want to, or I can just look up a specific topic, like Pangea. I can find the video. The first thing that you want to do, and this is the reason why I'm showing you the YouTube part, because I know that we all know how to find videos on here. But like, once you find the video that you want, make sure that you click on that video, and where it says video not approved for Franklin County Schools, click approve. Even because if you do not do that step, it's not going to play. If you embed this video on Google Slides, if you give this link to the students, or if you embed this video into EdPuzzle, it's not going to play unless that's been approved or added to the approved list.
Hey, Stella.
Yes.
Last night I was working on this for the Google certification, and a lot of the videos said that they were for kids and you couldn't attach them to something, that it was some new thing YouTube was doing for COVID. Has anybody else had problems with that? Like some kind of YouTube rule or something? I don't know, but a lot of the things I wanted to put in a folder, it wouldn't let me because it said it was for kids and it couldn't be added to something. It was weird.
So that's a good question, and it's not just COVID related. It was YouTube got sued. They got sued really bad because some of the advertisements and comments underneath videos that were made for kids were really not appropriate. for under 18 students, kids, whatever. So they did make those changes, and you cannot add certain videos to playlists if they were made for kids.
Oh, it was frustrating for me. I was mad.
Yeah, and I wish that we lived in a world that could be like, oh, you know what? Kids are probably going to watch this video. Let's not use cuss words in the comments, but we live in a selfish world.
Amen, sister.
No common sense. But yeah, that is something to keep in mind when you're making playlists. It will not let you add certain videos to playlists just because of that. So you could always like save the link onto a Google Doc or something, but I know that's not as pretty or as fun. But that was a really good question. Thank you so much, Wendy. And hopefully your Google certification studying is going well. So make sure that you have those videos approved. And that's really all that I'm going to talk about in YouTube today. But if you want to know more, I love talking about YouTube. And obviously I can talk about it for a whole hour or longer. So hit me up if you have any questions about that. Okay, I'm going to check the window. Do you all have questions about how to approve videos? And don't forget, TED Ed would be a good one. So don't forget that if this is a channel that you use a lot, you can click on the actual creator to go to their channel and approve a whole channel. So if it's something that you like, if it's a creator that really puts out really great content and you use 10 or more videos or however many, you can click approve and approve a whole channel. And that's true for your own videos as well, like we talked about earlier. All right. So we are officially right here on our agenda. And I don't want to jump. I want to make sure if anybody's typing, please continue to feel free to ask questions about stuff that we've covered before. I want to hear your questions, and I promise that I will get you answers. And if I don't know it, I will figure it out. Okay, so EdPuzzle. EdPuzzle is one of my best finds that I ever used inside of the classroom. It's edpuzzle.com, and I want to log out. So when you go to edpuzzle.com, you can sign up right here. It's free. Don't pay for the premium. You don't need it. I'm going to show you how you can do everything you need to without getting premium. Even though the premium is nice, it's just not worth the cost. It's outrageous for what it does, I think, in my personal opinion. But edpuzzle.com, and if you want to create your own account while we're working, I'm going to put the link to that in the chat window. With free EdPuzzle, you get 20 free videos per account that you have. So that doesn't sound like many, but you can always delete videos out and then just keep using those same 20 spots. So if I have 20 videos and I want to create another one, you can just go in and delete, and I'm going to show you how to do that. I did get a quote for the district. It was just, it's really expensive. So if you need more than 20, I would just delete and keep the ones that you're commonly using in there. So I'm going to click log in. I'm a teacher. I always click sign in with Google just because I'm kind of lazy and I don't like to remember passwords, just being honest. And when you get logged in, you have all of this stuff here. There's tons and tons of stuff, and you could really get lost in all of it, but really it's just kind of like YouTube. And I loved using this in class. It was just so great to be able to see who watched the video and have questions embedded through it. So just kind of giving you a little view of how it works. I'm going to play one just so you can see what it does. So this is how it looks for the students. They have a to-do list over here. Oh, this one didn't have questions. That's a bad example. Let's see. This one has questions. Okay. So you have to-do list over here. You have multiple choice questions coming up at those times. Students will not be able to skip ahead, but they can rewind. So they'll just press play and it will automatically go through the whole video. And when it gets to here, which as a teacher, I think I can skip ahead. Yeah. When it gets to that time mark that has a question embedded, you're going to have the multiple choice question here, or this one, in this case, a multiple select, and the students will be able to pick the correct answers. So let's just say true about matter. Oh, no. Oh, dang it. Matter has weight. Matter can take it. Yeah, technically doesn't take up space, but it has weight. So they would just answer the question and then they go on and then they get to the next question and they would get to pick the correct answer. If they click skip or if they click skip, it's going to automatically mark it as wrong, but they can go back and rewatch between those two questions. Okay. So that's what it looks like from a student. As a teacher, you're going to be able to send this directly to Google Classroom or to make a copy of it. So like right here, I can make a copy and embed my own questions if I wanted to. But yeah, as a student, they see this, they'll see the to-do list and then the questions when they pop up. So how do you get your own EdPuzzle assignments in here? First thing, you want to search content. So you can search for videos directly inside of EdPuzzle. It searches YouTube. It searches Khan Academy, National Geographic, all of these right here and more. So all of the video contents are directly into here. So let's say, for instance, that I wanted to find a video over the American Revolution. I just searched for it and I can see all of the different videos directly here. If they're in the EdPuzzle library, that means that you don't have to go to YouTube to approve those. But if they're in the YouTube library, then make sure that you have those approved. So I'm going to go ahead and click on one. I'll be able to pre-watch it as a teacher. And then if I want to make changes for that, I just click make a copy. And then I'll be able to add my own videos with edit. So I click the edit button because I clicked that really fast. Right here's the edit button. And whenever you're watching, you can cut this video to make it be shorter because some videos on YouTube are super long. You can do a voiceover. So if there's a certain part of the video where you want to talk over top of it because you want to add some content in there, you can click start recording. Allow. Hi, this is me talking over the video. Important content. Click stop. And it's going to automatically save that right there where that little yellow line is where I've done it. And then finally, you have the opportunity to put questions. So if you want to add a question here, you can do multiple choice, open-ended, or you can even add a note for the students to read while they're watching that video. So if I click multiple choice, it will automatically grade that. So let's just pretend that I have that question and I have my options down here. You want to make sure that you're putting good questions and not just random blurbs there. But you can pick which question is correct. You can even have multi-select questions if you want to. If you want to add another answer choice, you're going to click here, and you can add as many answers as you want. And when you're done, you press save. So that question will be saved. So if you want to add an open-ended question, this is where you can ask your paragraph text, and students will respond with paragraphs or short answers, but know that EdPuzzle will not automatically grade these. So save, and when students get to that part of the video, it's going to automatically pop up that question. After you've watched the whole video and you've added everything in that you want, you can click finish, and it's going to automatically save that video to your library. So if I go to my account, I can go to content and go down to my content, and I'm going to see that video that I just edited. Okay. So I also need to show you like how to assign this to students, and I just realized I never showed you how to get your students connected to EdPuzzle, and that's a pretty important part. So my apologies there. But does anybody have any questions about how to find content and how to edit that to make it suitable for your class by adding questions or whatever that you need to add in there? Becca, yes, I'm going to show you that part in just a second. That's a good question. Becca asked if you can use your own videos. If the videos are saved to YouTube or any of the other places, then yes. Okay. So I'm going to show you how to get your kids in there since I skipped that part. Whenever you're logged into EdPuzzle, you just want to go to My Classes, and you're going to scroll all the way down to the bottom of this menu and click Add New Class. Now, you can create a new class automatically and import your students, add your students manually, or I think the district is leaning towards, I think all principals are leaning towards using Google Classroom. And I know that most middle school and high school teachers already do that, and intermediate grades. Elementary will get you settled in a way that will help you more. But if you have a Google Classroom, then you can click Add New Class and click Google Classroom, and you have to sign in with Google so it can talk to your class. It's safe. So if you have students already in your Google Classrooms, you can automatically pull those kids, and then you can assign it directly to Google Classroom, and they never have to leave it. You don't have to do anything else. So I'm going to pick one of these, and I'll click Import Class down here at the bottom. And if you have multiple classes, you can click more than one. You don't have to just pick one. So where is my FCS test class? There it is. So if I click that, I can click Students, and I can see all of the students inside of my class. It should automatically pull those kids directly from your Google Classroom.
Hey, Stella.
Yes.
I popped up with a screen that said, do you have parental consent for your students to use EdPuzzle? Yes, my school does, or no, it's not required by local laws.
Did it pop up on anybody else's too?
Like when I went to do the class, it popped up.
Let me see. EdPuzzle. I hope they haven't changed their age restrictions, because it's so. Okay, so you all can still see my screen. So I'm going to highlight this part right here. It says that you can technically use it for kids 13 years of age without verifiable content. Like, oh, it prohibits. So if you teach kids under the age of 13, we need to type up a letter, and I can type that up. Let me add that to my to-do list. You would have to get parent consent for this. So that's something. I'll type up a letter. I'll get it approved through Jimmy Pack before I send it out, just because I don't want to get anybody in trouble. But if our district is fine with it, then you could just send the letters home and tell the parents, like, hey, in order to use EdPuzzle, we have to have consent. Do you give your kid consent? Yes or no? I know that for schools that are for students that are doing the virtual learning part, maybe this is something that I could talk to Mr. Koch with too, to see if that's something we can add into our virtual learning contract. So if you teach high school or upper middle school, then I think you'll be, well, 8th grade, yeah. But elementary teachers, I will double check, okay? Because I don't want to get anybody in trouble. I want to make sure that we're being legal with all of our stuff. Can you add individual students who aren't in a Google Classroom? Carrie, you absolutely can. If you want to add students that are not in a specific classroom, you can click Add New Class, create a new class, and then call it like virtual learning or whatever that you want to have it. So if you click Classic, your students must log in and you'll have to add them in. If you click Open, oh, hang on. I'm going to come back to Open in a second. If you click Open, it just means that they don't have to log in. They just enter a code. So I'll come back to Open in a minute. Elementary teachers, we may have found a loophole for you all, and we will talk about that in just a moment. So instead of importing directly from Google Classroom, we might be able to try that Open thing. But for Carrie's answer, you might want to try Classic, and then you can just click Invite Students and copy this link. And when they copy that link, they'll just sign in with Google and their roster will fill in there. So you don't have to add your kiddos automatically. For elementary teachers, so for you all, instead of adding from Google Classroom, that does require them to have their accounts, you can click Create a New Class, call it whatever you want, and then click Open. And you can even let EdPuzzle generate student nicknames or whatever. As long as you know who it is, then it will be fine. I'm going to not click that, but if you click Open and then Create Class, you can go down here and click Invite Students. And when they click, like, you'll share this link with them. And when they go to this link here, when it loads, they won't have to sign in with their usernames.
When I go to hit invite students, it pops up with that. Do you have consent again?
Again?
Yeah.
Okay. So Tom says it's a FERPA thing too.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so I'm going to have to read this. They changed it on January 31st or 30th. Dang it. Of course they did. So we want to make sure that it's, yeah, we might not be able to use this with kiddos younger than 13. I hadn't realized that they changed their agreements. Let's see. Yeah, so I'll read over it too, like when I'm not in the session with you all, while you all are just looking at me highlight and read and ponder and think. And I will let you know for sure if this is something that we can use with our elementary kids. You still will get PD credits, so I'm sorry if we can't use it with elementary kids. I will see there's some other options out there too. EdPuzzle I just found would be the most user friendly, but I'll see if there's an equivalent to this for kids that are under the age of 13. It will still work similar, and if there is, I'll make an additional PD. It will have to be a go at your own pace, but I will make it and I will email it out to all of you. So I'm very sorry about FERPA and COPA messing up our session there with all of that. But we do have to be legal and we have to follow the correct protocols. So yeah, I'm sorry about that. So Carol said, do we need consent for using YouTube videos in general? No, you do not, because the students do not have to sign in with YouTube. And if they ever do sign into YouTube, it asks if they are under the age of 13. And if so, it makes them a YouTube channel, or makes them a YouTube account for kids, so they don't get weird content. But if you have students uploading videos to YouTube, then yes, probably would have to be a little bit more precautious about that. So, sorry about that, elementary teachers. Hopefully we can find a workaround. I'll email Jimmy as soon as this session's over and see what we can figure out. And I will look for an alternative for you if this does not work. And I promise if there's one out there, I will find it. So going back to how we use EdPuzzle. When you click add content here, you can upload a video. So EdPuzzle will work on your phone. If you have a phone, you can download EdPuzzle app and you can upload a video from your phone or from your computer. Or you can create a video directly on here. But since we have Screencastify and it automatically pushes our videos directly to YouTube, I'm going to go there. And I'm going to go to my channel. And let's say that I have a video that I want that I've already recorded from using Screencastify. I can grab that URL, come over to EdPuzzle, search content. And it's going to automatically pull that URL up for me. And just like before, I can do a cut, a voiceover, or questions, just like what we showed in the first part. When I press finish, I can then assign directly to my classes if I want to. This is also where I can prevent skipping, and I can also turn on those closed captions, but know that especially if you have a thick accent, sometimes it turns on, or it picks up words that you totally did not say. You can also post this directly on Google Classroom if I have a Google Classroom account, Classroom set. And then when I press assign, it's going to automatically post that assignment into Google Classroom for me. I can see that's been posted there. So Alana said there's a template on here for obtaining parental consent. Alana, let's see.
Yes.
Is it on?
If you go to help,
Okay.
you can go to, it says something about getting started, and on the third tab down, it says obtaining parental consent templates included.
Awesome. So it's on help. Is it here?
Yes, and then you go down to
Help Center. Oh, got
Yes,
it.
Help
Got
Center.
it. All right. Awesome. So I will add that form to the email that I send out to everybody. And I'm still going to double check with Jimmy just to make sure that it's safe to do. And it should be, but I don't want to give false hope if it's not. But thank you so much, Alana, for that. Becca, you probably have to have a class imported or created before you can see the add content button. So I want to show you how to see who has turned the work in and to give feedback and all of that. So you can go to Gradebook right here and you pick which class it is that you want to see. And if I'm looking here, I can see that I've assigned this video to my kids. Here's my roster, and none of them have watched it yet. But there was one I did this morning. Let's see. Oh, I got to change my date. I can't remember when I put this video up there, so I'm just going to go back to like a long time ago. Okay, save. But you can, well, it probably wasn't this class, but you can click on that and you can see all of the videos that you have given your students. And the students, like, you can click on their names and you'll be able to see their scores and any responses that they have done right there. If it's a multiple choice question, it's going to automatically put their grades right here in this row. So for instance, if you only did multiple choice questions, you would go in here and you would be able to see their scores filtered in. If you had a short answer question, you could click on their name and go in there and manually grade it. Okay, so we've went over a ton of information, like so much information. Do you all have any questions for me or anything that, any additional comments or anything that you think would be helpful for other teachers to know from this session? All right. I'm going to look back over our agenda to make sure that we've hit everything. Okay. So we still have right at 25 minutes left in this session. I always like to give some time for questions and answers. If you don't have any questions right now, then that's perfectly fine. You can feel free to put those in the chat box or to hop on your microphone if you want to. But I'll post the sign-in sheet and the anonymous feedback form in just a few minutes. And remember to fill out at least the sign-in sheet because that's how I get your PD credits over to central office so we can make sure to get your PD hours documented. If you all do not have any questions, though, I will go ahead and post those. So here, the first one's going to be the sign-in sheet. Okay. And the second one is my anonymous feedback form that I'm using to help my professional growth. After you fill those out, you can feel free to use the last 20-ish minutes of the session to play around with Screencastify, to play around with YouTube, and to play around with EdPuzzle. And I will be here if you have any questions along the way. And if you don't have questions today, but like tomorrow you're thinking or you're trying to play around and you forget how to do something, shoot me an email and I will get back with you. Andy, absolutely. I will be posting this onto the YouTube channel. So let me get the playlist because I feel like it's just easier to find if I give you the playlist instead of giving you my whole channel. So it will be added here. And if they are interested in doing it for PD, then they can go to this sheet. It might take me till tomorrow to get this uploaded, or maybe Friday, because I'm doing other PD sessions today and tomorrow. But I will have it on there by the weekend. That on-demand sessions is also where you can go to find all of the other sessions. Becca pointed out to me that I do not have the app on there, so I have to make a Google form for that one. Spinning lots of plates, but I will get those added on there as soon as possible. Awesome. Thank you so much, Andy. Thank you, Alana. And thank you so much for finding that template. I added that to our agenda there, and I will get feedback from Mr. Kopp and Jimmy before I send that out to everybody. But it looks good. Like it explains everything better than I could. Thank you all so much. Tom? Yes, I document the hours from the sign-in sheet. So when you fill that out, I automatically just ship that over to central office and we get your 2 hours of PD credit documented.